Hi, my name is Barbara Seal, and I just would like to get a story out there due to Walmart self-checkout lanes. It was a 9-month ordeal started with myself and my 3 children. My son went ahead and he typed it out for me. Okay, I'm going to start reading everything that we went through for 9 months. On July 27, 2023, I, Barbara Seal, was shopping with my 2 daughters, Jessica, 22, and Marilyn, 13, at our local Walmart here in Vidalia, Toombs County, GA. We use the self-checkouts when we shop, and when me and my 2 daughters got our groceries in the car, I, Barbara Seal, proceeded to back out of our parking spot in the lawn and garden side of Walmart. And as I got to the stop sign in the parking lot, a Vidalia police car pulled directly up to my bumper of my car and put his lights on for me to pull over. And then the officer, whose name is Officer David's badge number 352, came to the window after I was pulled back into the park. Came to my window and told me I was being stopped for theft without even asking me, Barbara Seal, for identification or car insurance like a regular traffic stop. Officer Davis demanded I, Barbara, without knowing my name, to get out of my vehicle and get all of my groceries out of my car and back into a shopping cart. So at that point, my two daughters followed my actions of getting out of the car because I am disabled on SSI. So Jessica, my daughter, helped to put the groceries in the cart from the car, and then another police officer came up to us while putting the groceries in the shopping cart and asked Officer Davis if he was sure, and Officer Davis said yes, Walmart has videos. Then me and my daughters with the officers who were led to took us back into the store, and I noticed one of the tin foils that we bought did not ring up, and yet I saw my daughter scan it. So as we went back in the store, we were led to the asset protection office where they take shoplifters. The asset protection employee asked if my 2 daughters were minors, and Jessica replied, "No, we are not yet." Nothing at that point had to do with me, Barbara. The story was changed when we got into the asset protection office, and then Jessica was asked to sit down and then was told she stole tinfoil. And I, Barbara Seal, said I watched my daughter ring it up. The item of the asset protection worker said, "Well, I have a folder here of Jessica and her husband, Aaron Seal," which then we both, Jessica and myself, Barbara, said, "No, that is Jessica's brother and my son." Then the asset protection worker apologized. And again, I, Barbara Seal, asked why he never stopped my daughter or son at any point when they shopped there. Then he was my son and daughter shop at Walmart at least 4 to 5 times a week. For me, their disabled mother, and I, Barbara, kept asking them that same question, and my daughter shop at Walmart, asked the same question to the asset protection worker, proceeded to tell me to shut my mouth and that he could either be a D or an A, and he said my food stamps could be gone. There, I was told I could take the shop. No, wait. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm reading and okay, at Walmart, okay, 40 times. An asset protection proceeded to tell me to shut my mouth and that he could be either, I'm going to repeat it because I got lost, everybody, a D or an A, and he said my food stamps could be gone. Asset protection worker proceeded to tell me to shut my mouth and that he could be, okay? And the asset protection worker asked me, Jessica's mother, if Jessica would like me to stay. She said yes, so a couple of minutes after standing, there I was told I could take the shopping cart and leave. But at that point, being called a thief, I chose to take the items to the customer service and return all the groceries and proceeded to get a refund. They took my receipt at the customer service and I never was handed back my receipt. And to this day, I have not received my refund of $111 of EBT SNAP benefits or the $4.08 of the one tinfoil that didn't ring up, which was paid by my son's debit card. While I was doing all that at the customer service, they took my daughter Jessica in handcuffs to the police station, and when Jessica was getting her mug shots done, the officer doing so kept telling her in a real low voice he was sorry. So she got her citation. Okay, she got her citation when Jessica was getting her mug shot. Okay, I read that. To appear, she got her citation to appear in court, a municipal court. And when I, Barbara, got there, I was told that Aaron would have a warrant out for his arrest. If he did not appear in court, the municipal court, and when Barbara Seal was told that Aaron would have a warrant out for his arrest, if he did not come to the police station, and the warrant would be established on Monday, the 31st of July of 2023. So when me and Jessica, who they let go, got home, told Aaron to the house, told my son everything, who was at home with a tooth infection, my son Aaron said, I will go first thing in the morning, which would be July 28th. And he did so at 9 a.m. Aaron spoke to Sergeant Corsi, which my son told her he was there to see what this was all about. And Sergeant Corsi played off she knew nothing, so she called Officer Davis in front of my son Aaron. And Aaron said Sergeant Corsi began to say to Davis on the phone that my son Aaron was there to turn himself in, which was not true. My son said he was there to see what this was all about, which can be proven on chest cams of Sergeant Corsi. Also, Sergeant Corsi asked Davis over the phone if she would give my son his citation and get his pictures done. The officer Davis said no to get Sergeant Corsi, and Davis also said he did not know if there was a shoplifting case at this point. So they let my son Aaron go home with no citation, no pictures done. And that Davis would be in on Monday for Aaron to call him since he was not there on July 28th. So my son did so. My son has a recording of conversations he had with Officer Davis on July 31st, which Davis said my son Aaron had to come in that day and receive his citation and get pictures done, or there was going to be a warrant out for his arrest. So my son went back to the police station here in Vidalia, GA, and got his citation and pictures done. And while being there, Officer Davis showed my son the folder of hearsay. And my son noticed that the items in the folder match our receipts. Receipts we had, and Officer Davis said this was a sting operation. Also, my son and daughter had their date in court at the municipal court September 13, 2023, which they appeared at 9 a.m. and plead not guilty. So my son and daughter were given court trial dates for the municipal court for the 11th day of October 2023 at 1:30 p.m. When I got home, we ended up finding when we got home, we ended up finding municipal receipts. No. Oh, I'm sorry, that's mistyped then. Okay. We ended up finding receipts of our recent shopping trips that did match up with the receipts in the hearsay folder with Walmart was Aaron. Aaron said there were cropped receipts in the folder as well. Anyway, the day of October 10, 2023, the day before their court date at the municipal court, they got an email from Johnny Vines, who was appointed their public defender, saying that the case has been forwarded to Vidalia State Court because upon finding those receipts that were our receipts shopping trips, my son emailed Johnny Vines. They chose to move it over to the state court, which my son and daughter were mailed out arraignment notice to appear in the state court December 18th of 2023. And upon Aaron and Jessica arraignment hearings, they were both plead not guilty and never asked to speak with a solicitor. Yet Johnny Vines, their appointed public defender again, at this court, like the municipal court, Johnny Vines took my son and daughter out to the doorway where you enter the courtroom and offered them both a plea deal. Walmart was offered and they both said no because Aaron and Jessica did not commit no type of shoplifting, hence why they both plead not guilty. And they did not understand why Johnny Vines did the solicitor's job, which neither my son or daughter never asked to speak with the solicitor for any plea. Also, the judge was asking my son my income of Social Security income. My son did not know my amount of income, so my son Aaron asked the judge if he would like his mother, who is Barbara, to come up, and the judge proceeded with yes. So I, Barbara, went up, to the judge, and simply stated my income of my Social Security and child support and food stamps, which I was confused on the matter being I never officiated in any of these proceedings by official form or so. Anyway, my son and daughter were told the court was going to lunch to appear in 1 hour. So they did. And no papers were given to my son or daughter like the municipal court did. All the judge at the state court said a trial will be sometime in April 2024. Just no officiated date, official date. Okay, date or time for my son every month of the new year to find out when his or his sister's court date would be, and always got told nothing was showing. And even Jessica's public defender, Johnny Vines, said we were in the waiting game. And my son's public defender, which was appointed to him by Johnny Vines, never would speak with my son, only the secretary of my son's public defender. She called the courthouse on March 20th of 2024 and said the secretary of my son's public defender office said that the clerk of court at the state court said that the courthouse was backed up with cases, yet come to find out on May 1st of 2024, my son spoke with the clerk of court at the state court, and finally was told that the case against him and my daughter Jessica, it was dismissed and closed out on March 6th of 2024. And if March 24th, and if my son wanted proof, he had to go up to the courthouse and pick up the forms himself. So he did. We have recordings of all said calls with the public defenders, the clerk of courts, who kept lying on when or if the case was going to trial. And also recordings of the clerk of court who, before arrangement date, a state court told my son he or my daughter had no choice but to meet with the solicitor, and that they weren't to leave without speaking with the solicitor, which came out to be a lie. Okay. And only seemed to be a tactic to make my son and daughter look guilty and two daughters and my son prove the Sergeant Corsi. The date of July 28th, my son's meeting with Officer Davis on July 31st, 2023, and there was a similar news story with a Leslie nurse who spoke with WKR News 5 about, it's WKR News 5, about her incident at Walmart with self-checkout 2 that malfunctioned.
It's WKRG.
Oh, it's WKRG, I'm sorry. Okay, well, that's my eye, sorry everybody. So I'm just putting it out there with, what Walmart can do, and that's what they do. They sit there and they'll sit there and stop people, say they're stealing when they're not. It's with their self-checkouts. You can look up Leslie Nurse. She went through the same thing, and hers lasted up to a year. So I'm just warning people, be careful when you shop at Walmart, because I don't want to see the same thing happen to anybody, because it's wrong. And right now we are in the process of looking for a lawyer. Well, I appreciate everybody listening, and have a good day. Thank you.